Ooh, feels so good after I washed up after a nice long day. Hello. Everybody on YouTube, hello. Let me start off with my signature. I almost spilled water into my microphone. That would have been I would have been kind of upset. Oh, that feels good. Hang on, let me just check something real quick before we do this. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. Hello, another night, another stream, right? We're continuing with our kind of fashion series. You know, right now it is kind of nearing the end of the World Cup, and I wanted to make some soccer themed clothing, I guess, somehow. Should have fully dried my hair. I need a haircut. It's so long, it's so shaggy, I feel like. But yeah, I think in my last episode, I guess you could call this, I turned this baggy pair of I made this, right, this baggy pair of shorts. So if you can see right there, let me put this, hold on, let me set this up a little bit better. So here's what I did, right? So you can kind of get a better view. This is actually a very baggy jean. This is a size 43 waist, I think, and is very baggy, right? And it was long. It was a 43 by 32 or something. But I pretty much made it into jorts, right? I cut it off right here, which is a little bit knee level for me. Although I am making this for a friend, it's not for me. If I measure it from, let's say from here to here, it comes out to about 24 inches. And so what I did was, first of all, I shortened it. And then the second thing I did, if you can see right here, is the color mismatch. Is I also kind of flared it a little bit so that it kind of gives it like a kind of a baggy shape, because I think usually with pants, when you make it into shorts, it kind of tapers down when it gets to the foot. So here I added, these are just leftover panels from when I made my first flare jeans, like full-on flare jeans. And this is actually the panel that I was going to use to make like a mini skirt, like a ruffled skirt. So I'm gonna have to pretty much find more fabric to make the skirt for that. Yeah, potentially. As you can see, I also hemmed it, right? I also hemmed it, and yeah, everything looks good. So this is pretty much the base. And today, actually, what we're gonna be doing is, blue lock inspired, like continue on working with this to make it like a blue lock inspired shorts. And of course, like if you watch Blue Lock, or if you like Blue Lock anime, you know that they have it's a soccer based anime, so of course it's like the soccer uniform. And so I think the plan is we're gonna use paint, right? And I know I've used this before, this paint on my Slurpee costume. But I was doing a little bit of research, and I guess on that it doesn't really matter because I don't really think I'm gonna wash it. But there's like different types of paint you can get specifically for fabric, and there's fabric paint. And from doing my research, I found out there's actually fabric paint that's designated for a light color, and fabric paint that's made specifically for dark color, right? But those can get kind of expensive, right? And so I was like doing more research, and I found out that you can make your own fabric paint. just with any acrylic paint, like regular acrylic paint. This is matte acrylic paint, and I think this is what you use for like your basic arts and crafts. But there is a way you could transform this. So I guess before like actually starting, let's kind of go over what it takes to transform regular paint into quote unquote fabric paint. And so from what I found is, yeah, you could use anything, and these are really cheap. I think this was like $1 for this, like 2 ounce, and I found some for like maybe even like cheaper, right? But of course, like you want to kind of keep the cost down, and so of course you're going to need some cheap acrylic paint, and I think the key ingredient is fabric softener, and this I guess like I don't really know exactly the science behind it. I'm gonna take their word for it, and I guess today we're gonna test it, right? We're gonna do it, and we're gonna test it and see it. So this stuff, fabric softener, I guess it helps bind with the paint, and it helps do something where it makes it absorb much better into the fabric, so that once you put it in there, once you paint it on, it actually fuses with the fabric and doesn't really come off when you wash it, right? And so there's also one more thing, I guess, that not a lot of people use, but I did kind of see it kind of talked about, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and it's this. It's something called Mod Podge. I heard a lot about this, first time using it. So about this, supposedly it's like a glue. So this is a glue, but it helps seal things. It helps seal, and it supposedly works really well. So we're gonna be using this 3. We're gonna be using this 3 and to make our little DIY fabric paint today. And so, like I said, if you want to talk about costs and how much you kind of pay for all this, like this is like, let's say $1, all right? This fabric softener, I got the cheapest one at Walmart. This is like $3 for like the 34 fluid ounce. And I think one thing to kind of keep in mind is when you get fabric softener, you want one that doesn't have color and scent. I mean, scent, I don't know, whatever, right? But I think color, most fabric softener is blue, but this is white or clear, right? And I think you could see where it says like free clear, it says 100% free of perfumes and dyes, right? And yeah, this is like $3-4. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just try it. And I think out of here, like the only thing that was kind of medium, like you would say the most expensive thing out of here is this glue right here, which is about like $8 maybe. But even I heard at dollar store they sell like, this is what, 16 fluid ounces. I heard that you could buy like a 2 fluid ounce version of Mod Podge, which I should have done because this is my first time using it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. And so you could kind of test it out. And I think to paint everything on, I'm not going to use a brush, but I like sponges. I like sponges. Even when I was doing my Slurpee costume, I was like at first trying to use fabric to wipe the paint across. But I think this, I could cut it up into little squares, and then that way I could control it a little bit with the soft side, and then just dip it in the paint and just smear it on the fabric. So this is like $1, and I think I could just cut this up into little strips of rectangles or whatever. We'll see. My first time doing any of this, and I think the general thing is you want to mix this. There's like a ratio, right? So you want 2 parts paint, 1 part detergent, or not detergent, fabric softener, and 1 part Mod Podge, and we're gonna mix this all together. I really don't know how much paint we need, and so yeah, and we're gonna get to painting this, and it's just gonna be a little lines down the side, the design, and it's like a kind of a interesting start, I guess, to trying this. So yeah, let's try it. I really don't know. Okay, so I also got some plastic things. These are just leftover things, like, you know, like condiment stuff and cups, and I'm just gonna be using these to mix everything in. Probably this, right? I don't know if I need that much. We'll see. But I have everything. I also have masking tape. I don't know if I want to use this. Maybe I'll just measure out like I don't want it to be like super taped, everything to be super taped off, because the style I'm envisioning is like super like rough strokes kind of feeling to the drawing. And so yeah, so thank you for those little hearts. But yeah, we'll see. We're gonna get started. I guess we could start by like making this concoction, this our DIY fabric paint. And I guess to a little bit to note is when you make this fabric paint, I think if you want to set it in, you need to wait 24 hours after it dries, and then you need to like heat press it with something. So we're gonna do this, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty sick. I'm actually really excited. Right now, I'm only kind of dude, whoever's like spamming the button, I don't know who you are, so it's like tripping me out a little bit. But regardless, I see it like floating. It's just, I don't know. I don't really have too many people spamming buttons, but it is floating up. It is kind of funny to see. I want to see like reveal yourself, right? But anyways, this is something that I'm making for a friend that really likes like anime and is into fashion and all that stuff. So I think it kind of works out. So yeah, and soccer too, obviously. So yeah, okay, let's get started. Like I said, 2 to 1 to 1. I should have like a measuring cup or whatever to do this, but I'm just gonna like pour it out, maybe. Like that's like the worst way to do it. And then mix everything up together, I guess, right? So I guess let's start with this. Let's start pouring out some laundry detergent. I probably shouldn't, look, hold on, let me move these pants. It's just so I don't spill anything on it. And then I guess, okay, the plan is we're gonna make this, and then we're going to I guess plan out the pattern on the pants, because it's just a bunch of line streaks like with masking tape, and then we'll just do a very rough general outline, right? So like I said, it's 1 part detergent or fabric softener, 1 part Mod Podge, and then 2 parts paint. And it's my first time doing this, so I wonder if you have to shake fabric softener. I hope I didn't mess it up. I feel like when I open this, there's gonna be like a flood of fabric softener just spilling out. No? Okay, good. Yeah, it just smells like chemicals. It's clear, right? It's clear. It doesn't really smell like anything. Got nice and foamy. I feel like maybe I shouldn't have shaken it up. Dude, this is gonna be messy, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. Okay, let's just go with a little bit I don't know how much I need, so I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time. And so probably, if you can see, let's see, hold on, let me see if you can see. I got a little bit of fabric softener on my finger. Okay, so we're gonna put like this much fabric softener. Maybe up to that little line. There's like a little line right there, right? Yeah, you could definitely see that. And then we'll pour the rest back in here. And then, of course, I said 1 part Mod Podge. Well, at least it doesn't smell anything offensive. It doesn't smell bad. I have to open this. So this is a glue, and then I feel like, okay, let me get some napkin. I bought some paper towels because I feel like it's gonna get a little bit messy. Okay, let's add some Mod Podge. I heard a lot about this stuff. I can't believe I'm actually using it today. and then we just opened it up, like we poked a little hole right there. It's a little, oh, it's a little bit blown out. And then we'll just pretty much add the same amount, I guess. Oh my gosh, it's already spilling out. I don't know if that's the same amount. Is that good? Okay, I think this is non-toxic too, so yeah. W. And then of course 2 parts paint. All right, 2 parts paint. Maybe I should have just taken all of that out. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, 2 parts paint. Yeah, that looks good. Dude, that looks kind of disgusting. So it looks like there's this milky white thing floating on top of this like thick white thing. Dude, this reminds me of something like a bodily fluid ejection. Okay, so let's shake the paint, and then 2 parts of this. All right, 2 parts, just any paint, acrylic paint, and then is that? Yeah, I think, you know, you're supposed to measure everything out. I think that's good, but I feel like it doesn't, like, yeah, I think in the future I will measure stuff out, but it doesn't really have to be, I mean, yeah, you should, just because like you wanna, if you wanna repeat things. So I have a little, let's see, I have a little stirring stick right here. A mixing stick, okay. So this is it. Here's my mixture. Let me mix this up, I guess thoroughly. And then we'll start like cutting up the sponge and then getting everything ready. Originally I was going to use like a little cap and then just shake everything all together and then make it, I guess, mix it together. Dude, it's been so hot today, unbelievable. But let's see, hold on. This is I think everything kind of works out well because the fabric detergent was white, the paint is white, and the Mod Podge is white. Arts and crafts time with Goldman. Welcome. It smells like Elmer's glue, I want to say. It has an Elmer's glue kind of flavor, or not flavor, but taste, or scent. And let me see if I can show like a different view, I guess. If you can see. No, it's kind of too blown out. I can't wait to get another camera. This camera is kind of bad. This is my main one, but it's a little bit far away, so I can't really show you the close-ups. But yeah, like here it is. Let's see the consistency. Let's see if you can see what the consistency is like. It is a little bit on the thicker side, and I think I don't know if that's good or bad. But of course, I think if it's too thick, you could just add a little bit of water, maybe, potentially. And I guess if you're going to be using a lot of this, it'll be smarter to just make a big batch and then put it into like a little bottle, and so that it's ready to go. But it looks good, I think. It looks like a paint, and then I guess it's ready to go. Okay, I'm going to put that aside for now. Let's work on these sponges. So yeah, these are like 2 for $1, right? Brillo pads. And originally I was going to buy like actual paint brushes, but I was like, this, I really liked the look where you kind of just stroke things. When you stroke using like sponges and stuff, because it doesn't leave like a perfectly uniform, like it doesn't leave a perfectly uniform layer of paint, but it just kind of leaves it kind of streaky, which I like. And then also one thing that I didn't realize, but this green pad right on the back side, is actually kind of rough. So I was like thinking, well, I guess I could use this to remove some paint and then make it even more texture too. So I don't know. Let's see if this works, right? So I'm just going to cut it into like a strip, like a small strip, and I think that's what I'm gonna be mainly using tonight. You know, dude, it's been so long since I felt like a Brillo pad. Okay, so let's just try this. I think maybe something like this. Like, is a Brillo pad just straight up plastic? Is this just straight plastic? It feels like plastic. This thing has a gross smell to it though. It smells like earthy. I don't know why it kind of reminds me of like peanut butter. It has like a, let's say, like a, you know, like oil that's gone bad type of scent. I don't know. I don't know how you say that in English, but yeah, there's a scent for that where it's like oil that's gone bad, like mega oxidized. Okay, so let's draw out the pattern, or not draw it out, but I want to lay out the pattern so that you know that I guess the proportions need to be correct, right? So pretty much it's a very basic design, right? It's a very basic design, but let me kind of show you what it looks like, right? I know you can like look it up online and stuff, but this is the anime series, and so this is like all my notes that I had about making these jorts, but this is what it's gonna look like right here. So if you look, let's see. If you look right here, this is the front of the pants, right? So these are just white lines that's going to be traced. So each leg on the leg portion, the hem portion, is going to have a white stripe, and it's going to go up the inner thigh and then kind of cut into the middle and up. And these are just white stripes. And then this is the inside view, right? So, and then the back view looks exactly like this. And on the inner thighs, this is kind of what it looks like, where it lines up like that. So, yeah, that's going to be quite simple, actually. But I think it's just going to be a really good intro to what we need to do. So I think because these pants are so baggy, dude, these pants, this is really interesting. This fashion brand, it's called FB County. I did a little bit of research on them, and I think they have a very specific demographic. when I looked up their like, you know, online social media stuff, which I guess, yeah, every brand needs to have a very specific demographic, and they do have their demographic, and it fits the LA vibe pretty well, actually, right? So, okay, so how are we gonna do this? So this part is all going to be white, right? This part, and then it's going to come up like here, and then it's going to cut in here like this, and then it's gonna go up. So let me just measure things out, so that it hopefully looks proportional, right? Because you don't want these lines to be like too wimpy looking, like too skinny, and then, or else like it's not gonna look as good, I think, because these jeans are so baggy that I think the lines also need to kind of have that correct feature too. Also, okay, so I did do this. Okay. See, so like this. These are the flares that I added that I'm trying to kind of make it flat. But it's kind of interesting because I added this flare, and it's like this crotch part kind of like juts out. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it kind of just juts out a little bit. So we'll see how it fits, like when you actually wear this. Like we'll see how this like actually fits on the person. You know what? I think I might need clips too. Hold on. Okay. I didn't think I'd need clips, but I think we're gonna need to clip it in because these pants are a little bit too baggy. And oh, let's see right here. Okay. So I guess we could work on a half at a time, I guess, to make it fit a little bit better on this table. So I'm just gonna fold it in half for now, I guess. And then I think it'll show much better. Dude, these pants are so wide. Oh my goodness. It's kind of unbelievable how wide these pants are. Wait, okay, so hang on real quick, just 1 second. So like I said, I think the white lines need to be like a little bit thicker than usual. So let me just measure it out real quick. Like just exactly how much thick I want these lines to actually be. Let me see. Okay. So from here, maybe I want it this thick. You see this waistband thickness? That's a good length to it. That's a good thickness to it. So this is about 2 inches. Okay, so if I have everything 2 inches wide, so that means that here, okay, I'm just gonna use masking tape right now just to kind of see, right, to help visualize where the lines are gonna be and if that's gonna be like too much. So we'll put like masking tape right here. Something like this, 2 inches. Is that, yeah, I don't think that's like too, I don't think that's too wide, is it? So if I paint all this is gonna be white, 2 inches worth. And then it's gonna go up here 2 inches worth, right? And then it's gonna cut in, and then it's probably gonna go down the middle right here, 2 inches worth. Oh, maybe this belt loop is maybe 2 inches. No, that's 1.5. This is probably the side pocket, right? So if this is a side pocket, that means that, wait, so how is it gonna look then? Hang on, I'm trying to make sure that the proportion is kind of okay. So I did fold it in half, but maybe it might be better to not fold it in half so that I can truly see kind of like where this is actually going, like this. Okay, so this needs to kind of go down the middle, which is like right here. I think the pockets are gonna be on the side. So then it needs to go down here. Like something like this, okay. And then it has to cut inwards. It has to cut inwards like this and then down. So okay, so something like this. So paint it this way, and it has to come down and meet the bottom hem. Then kind of somewhere in the center line. Something like this. So this is kind of like how it's gonna end up like, right? The pattern of this pants. And then of course on the back side it's gonna be the same too. Is that fine? This actually looks pretty good. Let's see, 13. This is 23. Okay, wait. This is 20. How many inches was this? 24. So 12. So it kind of goes down halfway. Yeah. And then from the center to here is about 13. So 6.5. Yeah, I mean, this actually looks pretty good. This actually looks pretty good. So I think maybe I can probably draw an outline of 2 inches from here. So let me see. Let me see if you can see from here. So all this is gonna be painted white. This is the front. And then this needs to be more of the middle. But this is the general look of the pants. And this is the general look of the uniform, where it has this white just going all the way across. And it cuts up in the middle. And then it comes out this way. And then all the way up to here. And on the other side, it's going to be the same exact thing. Except there's going to be a number patch like on the bottom left, right? So yeah, I think this looks good. So I think with my marker, I'm going to like kind of put out like the general kind of guideline for me to follow with the paint. And I think we could just freehand it. So the plan is use this, right, to just dip it into paint and then just kind of like smear it like this. And let's see what it looks like. Like if I do something like this, and then we'll make it about 2 inches wide, maybe. Yeah, 2 inches following this general path. So 2 inches wide. That's gonna be really thick. Actually, now that I think about it, we'll do 1.5, which is like this much. So we'll go up from here. Right, 1.5 from here. You can you really see it? Yeah. Okay, so like this to here, this to here. I'm just doing a very, very rough patch, just so that I could just have something like a semi guideline to follow. And then of course here, it needs to be in the middle of this patch right here. Or of this flap. So it needs to go down this white paint right there, and in the middle is where I'm going to have the 1.5, right? Like this isn't the middle. I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna turn out, because I think it's gonna be pretty sick. Hold on, let me see. Right here. So from there to the middle, because this is the middle that's going to extend out to the other side too. So it has to be, this part is actually the part that has to be most accurate. So 1.5 from here, that's 1. So right here, like right there, okay. And then right there, and right there. Okay, and then now I need to adjust the bottom, right? The bottom, I did measure this 2 inches, but like I said, we adjusted it to at least just 1.5. So we need to adjust this back. Hang on. Okay. Like something like this. Shit, I don't need this right now. 1.5, and then like I said, we're gonna do like a really rough, a very rough, like paint. Just pretty much streak it with a sponge, and then pretty much just freestyle it, right? 1.5. And like I'm kind of looking at distressing stuff too, but I don't think this would maybe look good with distressing techniques. I'm not sure yet. Hang on. So yeah, there it is. 1.5 inch stripe all around. And I'm gonna take these masking tape off. These were kind of like my guide markers. And I have like the black, the guides on my fabric. So I don't think I need these now. So I'll set them aside so I can use it on the other sides. I think we have to repeat this maybe like 4 more times. One on each pretty much quarter, right? So I guess we can see how much fabric paint we use. We kind of made this much, right? And now I guess it's time to start painting. I have my gloves ready to go. And yeah, I guess we'll start right here. We'll start right here just to see, get a feel for what it looks like. Yeah, okay, so I like this. I'm going to put the mic down maybe because I don't know. Well, I guess no, not wait. I guess not. We'll just do this like this. Kind of nervous. It's the first time really doing this. Okay, my hands got so sweaty that dude, this is so annoying when your hand gets a little bit moist. My entire body is kind of like getting a little moist again. It's so hot that yeah, it doesn't really want to go in the glove too easily. Hold on, so I have my white paint ready to go, and of course I don't want too much white paint. I don't want it to be too bright, right? I want it to look kind of distressed. Ow. Here's some glove ASMR for you. Okay. So this will go up. So once again, we're just gonna follow this. Okay, I think I got it. We're gonna follow this all the way up to here to the mid, and then follow this up, and then up here and up to the belt loop. I wonder if I should paint the belt loop. I'm not sure if I should go all the way up, but we'll see. I see the tracing. Let me mix this real quick again, just to make sure everything's thoroughly mixed, and then we'll begin, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this has a consistency of watered down glue. That's what this thing kind of feels like. Watered down glue. Okay, and then like I said, we're gonna be using hold on, let me get some paper towel to put this down on. We're just gonna be using sponge, and then we're just gonna be, you know, like freestyling it, I suppose. Quote unquote freestyling it. All right. So yeah, here's the first little bit of paint. Wait, let me drink some water before I do that. I'm so thirsty. Put this here. Let me make sure everything's okay with this. Okay, so like here and here. Oops, let me move this more here so you guys can see it. Okay. These gloves need to be tighter fitting. The reference is right in front of me. So I do have a little bit of paint. I should probably take these off because I don't need it right now. Okay, so let's go. Let's go paint this. We'll see what happens. So let me test a little bit because I do have a little bit of paint right here, just to see what happens on this spot. I probably shouldn't test it like right in the middle. So this is what I wiped off the little spoon. Oh, interesting. That's a big smudge from that little dip that I made. Oh wow, see, that's a lot. Oh, interesting. That wasn't even that much paint. And the reason why I'm getting so surprised right now is because with my costume, when I made my a Slurpee costume, that thing, just the paint did not like want to move. So let me see how much paint. Wow, look at that. That's a lot. I'm actually really impressed because I just use this little mixer. This is a little mixer that I use to mix up the little batter. And I just kind of took the paint off that, and that's giving this much color is a lot. It's kind of a lot. So that makes me realize I need to be careful with just how much paint I actually use for this. And I think honestly, a little bit kind of goes a very long way. But it's giving off a blue tone. I wonder if that's because of the blue marker that I used. Maybe that might have been a mistake. So I feel like now, if I dip this into here, it's gonna be too much paint. So I think the move is I need to keep dipping this and just adding little dots like that. I think that's what I need to do because I'm actually surprised with how much paint came off here. So something like this, right? Just streak it all the way, and I guess we'll start with layers. We'll just start with layers. And I'm already really kind of liking the way this looks, not gonna lie. Okay, we'll go at the tip like this, right? Not too much. But yeah, it is kind of surprising how much paint is actually coming off. I didn't expect this much. And then I guess we could dab it, something like this, just layer it like that. I guess we could have like a little layer, and then it's all about, I guess, creating texture, but it is getting a little bit of blue tint. I think I messed up using like a blue marker, this thing right here. So I think I'm gonna have to go in a little bit later, and where I actually drew those lines, I'm gonna have to just like white it out. I think just put some extra like lines of paint. So I think this is the move. So dip a little bit and then just dab it on here, and that helps control, because I don't want this to be perfectly I don't want this to be perfectly just like an even coat of paint, right? I want this to look distressed kind of and a little bit faded. But we'll see. I'm really liking this style so far. This is probably going to be the first layer. I think I'm gonna have to do multiple passes. This first layer, I think we're just gonna get the general shape of it. And then we're going to then come out with the second layer with something like this. I really like this little pattern. Yeah, the blue is definitely coming out. I think that was a mistake on my part. I didn't think about that. And I used the blue marker all around, and I think the ink is lifting, unfortunately. And it's affecting the paint, making it a little bit bluish white versus pure white, which is what I wanted. So that might be a little bit of an issue. Okay, so I mean, I guess like, yeah, it's the first time doing this. You know, I kind of want perfection, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't come out like that. And so if you're kind of curious on like the marker that I'm using, so let me dip this to see what it looks like. What if I actually just dip it? Yeah, see, that streak is too strong. That's a little bit too strong. So that blue marker is actually, it's a Crayola marker. I think, you know, I think when you're sewing and stuff, you need to use a lot of like there's like a lot of things to mark your fabric as guides. I think the most, you know, common ones used are like chalk, right? They call it like tailor's chalk. There's like heat erasable markers. You know, there's just markers that disappear over time. There's washable markers, wax pen, whatever. But what I use is the Crayola. It's like the stuff that you used to use to draw, right? Just regular Crayola, because those are washable. But I think right here is a little bit different because I'm painting over it and the color is bleeding through, right? The color is bleeding through, and that's kind of an issue right now. That's causing kind of an issue, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the general shape right here. I got the general outline. If you can see, it goes from here to here to here, and then it cuts up, and then it goes like that and like that, right? And then we're just gonna do this on all 4 panels. And I think that was like the first baseline. So now I think we could use, I think now we're gonna wait for it to kind of dry a little bit and apply the second line. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate that the line is kind of coming up. So I guess originally what I was planning was I was going to use this side, this other side, right, of the Brillo pad to kind of like remove paint. So let's try that. There's like a really splotchy spot here. So I guess you could kind of do this and erase paint. Not really, but it seems to have taken away paint from here. So let's try it here, where there's like kind of like a even coating of paint. It doesn't really remove paint. Okay, what about this? What if I apply paint to here, like this, and then use this to maybe apply paint? Would that work? Kind of. It gives a much more harsh line than I think I would have got with the other soft sponge side. Like right there. But I think that's the effect that I'm going for, right? It's just, I think just kind of need to execute it a little bit better. But definitely I think using this to apply a few drops is kind of crucial, because without this, it's just kind of like too much. It's too much ink, too much paint. And now I guess I could apply a little bit more while we're doing this. Try not to get paint on places where it's not supposed to go. But it's a little bit bumming me out because the blue is definitely bleeding out, and it is affecting the paint though. I can see it. Unfortunate, but I guess we'll learn. We'll like keep that in mind for next time when we're doing stuff like this. I guess I have a white, like a wax pencil. I should have probably used that. Oh wow, this sponge actually absorbs a lot more ink than I imagined. Okay, it's like kind of pressing out from the tip. But I like this other side. It's a lot more textured, and I feel like I can get like really decent, something like this, right? Something like this going on with this other side. So let's see, maybe. So right now I think we're just adding like the little streak layers. We'll call it the base streaks. What we'll add some more on this side. Because it's a little bit empty. Yeah, we're gonna add some base streaks to here, to here, to here. And then, let's see. I mean, I think that looks okay for now, right? As a base coat, I don't think you want to add too much, because I think you could always add, but it's going to be like really difficult to take away, like a lot of things. So yeah, now that I'm doing this, I'm realizing I should have taped off all the sides first, because it seems like it's a lot more easier to work with if you did that. And then we'll let this dry out, this side dry out for a little bit, before kind of coming back and then adding even more textures. Like I'm liking what's going on here. These little like textures coming out, and then we'll kind of work with the sponge and I don't know, try to refine the technique on doing this. So let's work on the other side, all right? And then I guess we'll learn from that mistake and then, you know, go here. So I think right now we need to kind of copy the layout first, right? So it's like right here, I think, where it kind of comes down. I'm just gonna do a very, very rough sketch, right? Right here is gonna come down and it's gonna start going in. Wait, it's about here. And then it starts curving in right here to like right here, about right there. Yeah, so I think if I use this white pen sole, which I don't really like to use this because it doesn't really work on a lot of fabric. But I think with black denim, it would be an excellent choice because black denim has a lot of grippy texture too in the first place. And I think this just should have been the, yeah, but I guess like, you know, it's like the first time doing this. So just kind of learn. And then here we'll go from the center, and I'm just very roughly estimating 1.5 inches, right? 1.5 inches. Let me see if that's actually 1.5. No, that's way too thin. Okay, this to here. Is this 1.5? I guess. Okay. Yeah, so just 1.5 right there, and then go up, up until it meets this diagonal from here. Is this a diagonal from here? 1.5. Yeah, and then just paint this side. And I think, yeah, obviously, like, there's 4 panels, so even the back I need to do, but probably I'm going to just do the front today, and then let this dry, and then just do the back, right, after. So 1.5 is like here. 1.5 all around. Okay, so I think I got the basic outline. W using this white pencil. I thought I wasted money on this because it wasn't really working on, like, let's say like this type of fabric where it's like kind of soft. But I think with denim, it's so rough that, shoot, my little applicator is falling. Yeah, I think it's like the perfect choice. And don't use colored ink with white because definitely it's going to like start pulling out the color, and that's going to be kind of an issue. So here, half, half, half. Okay, so we'll go right down here, kind of like that. Okay, and then on the other half. Okay, I think I got the rough outline kind of sketched in. And so I guess let's continue. Let's continue with this. Okay, we'll add some here. Add some white paint. And yeah, so far I think the color is actually looking pretty decent. That might be too much. Let me try some on the other side. And I think I like the application process too, where you just kind of use the sponge to like streak it across and just hopefully get some interesting textures to form along the way. And I'm pretty sure if you do this, oh my goodness. Okay, I almost knocked that paint, my little thing of paint all over. And you know what? Yeah, I thought that originally that this wasn't gonna be enough paint, but I'm kind of seeing that this might be like actually too much paint. Oops. Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe I should have started in the center. Hang on. Because I need to paint this too right here. So let's try this. Add some, oh, my applicator. Very important that it doesn't get lost in the sauce over there. I hope that's, oh, it almost fell in. I hope it's ASMR-esque. Okay, and then I guess cut across like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need like a better way to kind of do this paint applicator thing. This little itty bitty mixer is not really cutting it. I mean, it's doing perfect for what I needed to do, but in terms of it keep on kind of falling into the thing. Okay, over here might be a different problem. I didn't even realize it, but this is where I marked out my fabric with red pen. So over here might get dyed a little bit red. It might become a little bit red, which I don't know if I like actually that, I don't know, that might not be the worst thing, but you know, if anything, I just wanted this like white. Okay, so I got all this kind of done. Let's add some more paint right here. Like I said, this is the base coating, so it has to be a little bit white, light, and then we'll come back and make stronger streaks to make the lines more definitive. And of course, everything that I'm doing right now, I have no idea what I'm doing. But everything is kind of like a mixture of what I've seen in the past and online, of course. And it's just, everything's like kind of a mix and just kind of bringing it together on stream in a really, I hope, interesting way, right? Like a interesting take on this anime fashion. Okay, so I just did this side. I'm going to do the other side, let this side dry a little bit. And then now I'm going to make, okay. Yeah, I definitely need more space too. I'm like kind of doing this. I'm kind of realizing having more space to work would be kind of really beneficial. So yeah, so far I'm like looking at the things that I need is a microphone stand, just so I don't have to cradle this thing, in my crotch area. And then number 2 is a new camera. I would like a new camera for this one, just because this one, it's a little bit annoying to use. I mean, you know, you use what you have, of course. And then I think number 3 would have to be a bigger working table or surface or something, just because, yeah, trying to maneuver around this and trying to like baby around stuff is kind of limiting, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm getting paint everywhere. I hope I don't get paint in my hair, but if I do, then oh well. Okay, so now that I have those, let's start just refining. Oh, that was too much. Huh, interesting. That was too much paint right there. That's not good. Okay, I kind of messed that up a little bit. So I think I need to use probably this other side, like this or something. Maybe like something like this. Yeah, that gives much better texture. I don't know why the other side was, I used a Brillo scouring side, and that seemed to not work as good. Interesting. Okay, I'm like learning about the techniques. I guess there's like different techniques you could do to do this. I mean, by techniques, I'm saying like that I'm kind of just experiencing right now by myself. Yeah, but you don't want to lay it on too thick like that. I think these are so nice. I don't know how I got these textures. And that's what I'm trying to mimic right now, but I don't know how I got those. So I think that's what you need to do. Fresh paint, and then streak it just once like that, and then you're done, and you have to do it again. Yeah, kind of like that. And then I think when you put the paint on, you just put it in random spots. You can't make it the same spot every time, or else it doesn't really, kind of like that, I guess. So let's do a little bit more here up top, because now I'm kind of understanding, like, oh no, that came out terrible, actually. That was the worst one. I don't know why. I feel like this belt is kind of like psyching me out, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that was not good. I don't know. Up here, it's not good at all. It's not anything that I want. But I guess it's like a process. Okay, so let's just keep adding these streaks. Let's just keep building layers of streaks. And like I said, one and done. You can only really do this once per drip or per whatever, right? And then it's pretty much done. This kind of reminds me of making that cosplay of the Slurpee, where it's just like it took so much time painting it. I feel like this part right here is kind of like that. So we'll give it like a really washed look, I guess. I don't know if this is like white enough, maybe. Did I just mess up there? I don't know. But let's just keep going. Okay. Because nothing's really like kind of accurate right now. Everything is just kind of like a flow state. I wanna say like a flow state. We're in a flow state. If you watch Blue Lock, you know what I mean. And okay, so me personally, I don't watch Blue Lock, right? But I know like my friend, he's like a really big fan of this, and so you know, I kind of thought about making these pants, and so I was like, well, I don't know anything about, uh, I don't really know anything about this, so I probably should know it because I am creating, you know, something inspired from that anime, and so I did watch like the whole recap of, basically of the season one, or I don't even know if this is season one. So I kind of know what happened. Okay, is that good? Like, how does this look on camera? Let me see. Hold on. It looks pretty amateur, to be honest. Right? I wonder why. What is it missing? Well, obviously I'm not done yet, but it has that really amateur kind of look to it, I think. Right here. Oh, I wonder what it's looking, or what is it missing that needs to make it like kind of pop, or um hold on, let me, there's this piece of paint right there. This is, you know, the vibe that this is giving me is, you know, like when you look at National Geographic magazines of like the tribes in Africa, like these African tribesmen where they're like really dusty looking, but then they have like the paint, like there's, I don't know if it's ceremonial or where it's like a battle where you know, where they kind of have the battle paint, but they have white paint, and this paint kind of reminds me of that. Uh, is that, I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing, right? Because it looks kind of dusty. Um, but I don't want this to be looking like pristine, clean, sharp, like just all paint. I wanted this faded, distressed look, but I kind of feel like this is, I don't know. I keep, I'm like thinking about that. It kind of looks like the tribesman vibe, which is not what I'm going for. But maybe it's because it's a little bit too pale. Maybe not enough paint. So keep layering, maybe layer more. But I really like these kind of designs right here. These looks right here. It looks okay. But I guess, I don't know. Let's see. Like that. Interesting. Okay. I wonder why I'm not really digging the look of this right here, this part. This part. Maybe it's because it's so flat. Like over here, it's so interesting texture. There's, I'm actually like, this is where I like it the best, right here on the hem. And I feel like it's getting interesting textures because of all these interesting hems. Like there's different bumps and grooves on the jean, which really makes it, the paint get applied like differently, versus here it's just a little bit too uniform. I think that's the issue. Interesting. Okay, so I guess to solve that, I would need to put something underneath, maybe, because like maybe put something underneath to like texturize it, so when I swipe the paint, then it doesn't apply flat, and then there's like different grooves and stuff that it can catch onto, which would give it like a really cool effect. Versus, I think that's the issue with this, and this is like the flat part of the jean where there's really like none of these interesting like these textures where the paint will apply much different to these. But over here it's just flat, so the paint kind of applies evenly, which I think that's why it looks kind of dusty looking. Okay. So if that's the case, then maybe the back side I could do it a little bit different. Maybe. I don't know. Let's continue though. Okay, so I guess to feel the paint, it feels like it's drying already. It feels like kind of dry. Hold on. Oops. And I think that's where I was trying to kind of well, if that's a case, if that's a texture case, then I need to apply this very sparsely, I think. So let me try this. Let me try dipping this here like this. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea, but if that's the case, then I think I need to. That didn't work at all. Okay. Wait, oops. Yeah, that didn't work at all. So let me just try something like this. Yeah, I think here I need to stop rubbing it. Maybe. I think that's the issue. Probably do something like this. It's just streaks like this. And then, oops. And I think I just need to layer this much more thicker. I need to concentrate on this. And I think it's because this is like the front. This is like the most visible spot. Like this part needs the most attention. Interesting. That's like the most eye-catching spot. So, okay, I'm just gonna try to dab this a little bit and just kind of mess with this so that it applies the paint in kind of like an interesting fashion. And I guess I don't really have to go like straight up and down every time. I could go this way, whatever. Oops, yeah, kind of like that. Oh, interesting. Okay, I just thought of something right now. I need a better way to apply the paint. Okay, wait, I just thought about something right now. Uh-oh. This is like my little paint applicator. I think I need like a bigger one. Maybe a straw. I have a straw. Okay, let's try the other side. Let this dry for now. And then we'll come back to it a little bit later. But we'll mess with the other side with what we just learned. And hopefully we could apply it. We could apply some of the techniques that we learned to this other side. And I'm already getting paint in places that I'm not supposed to be getting it, which is mildly annoying. So let's see. So okay, so like right here, maybe I could do something like maybe fold this a little bit so that it can apply a little bit. Maybe, okay, let's crease it. Let's crease it here intentionally and then streak a paint across and see what happens, like something like that. Okay, not really, but it was a good first try. And I think, okay, now I think everything's too light, so I just need bolder, I think just bolder, I guess, strokes, if that makes sense. Okay, so like this. So I guess this is all about building layers. And like right here is kind of the issue up here, right? But like I said, this is it's inspired from oh, that was bad. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not just dab it on there, because you're just gonna get this that was the worst one yet. Okay, no, just plopping it. I thought I was doing something. Okay, so like this. Wow, so after every stroke, yeah, so like this. After every stroke, just gotta refresh with the paint and kind of build it up slowly, I suppose. So let's get on it. This is kind of interesting though. This is kind of, I want to say like difficult, but it's definitely, you have to think about it. It's not it's not as easy to get, I guess, what you're looking for to come out. Like you need to manipulate everything, the fabric, to kind of, oh shoot, yeah, see here, I totally messed up by going completely out the border. Oops. Okay, oops. That's unfortunate, but oh well. I guess we can kind of keep continuing. Can't really do anything about that now. Let's work over here a little bit, right in the flare section. Okay. It's like whenever, it's just when I think I understand it, I'm like, I don't understand it. I feel like I'm just doing whatever right now. But I feel like this is kind of important. Like it might seem like I'm just doing like whatever, and yeah, I am. But I'm trying to understand the process behind it, just so that I'm not really just throwing out whatever, you know, and that it's become somewhat repeatable, so that you can kind of understand how this works, so that in the future, when I do more things, I guess, of this nature, you can manipulate these materials much better. But I guess, yeah, that all comes down to just playing around with it a lot more. Today is kind of like really like my first time doing this, and so I definitely need to keep learning and just experimenting with it. I guess that's a big thing, right? Just experiment and get better with it. That's all you can really do. Okay, so I feel like as the paint's drying, I feel like the first few coats, it is good to kind of keep it like wispy, because that gives it that like whimsical, not whimsical, but that airy kind of vibe to it. But once that dries out, but I think that's the coat that kind of like gets absorbed into the fabric a lot. And so I think once the fabric absorbs the paint and the material, then that's when you can start layering it up top even more, and it'll stay. Just kind of like on the other side, you can see all those like streaks that I made. Definitely they're like they're there. So it is absorbing some of the paint, and I think that's definitely affecting it. But let's see, hold on. Blue Lock, if you like soccer, definitely check it out. So from what I've the summary about like what Blue Lock is actually about, like I love, like, one of my guilty pleasures. I don't want to say guilty pleasures, but in terms of like anime stuff, I used to watch a lot, but the stuff that I really truly enjoy are sports animes. You know, and what all-time favorites is, you know, obviously the boxing one, Hajime no Ippo. That's a really good one. But yeah, I think like especially it's like if you're not really into sports, but you want to learn about sports, but you don't want to, you know, sit through it and you know, or you don't want to actually read through and learn the rules and all that stuff. You could just watch anime because they do a really good job teaching you all the rules and all the cool stuff. But like a lot of a lot of the anime theme is like a lot about teamwork and like doing things together, right? And like perseverance of the team and all that stuff. But I think this was a little bit revolutionary, I guess, is what I'm hearing, in the sense that it kind of separated all that, like saying screw the teamwork. It's all about individuality and your desire to be like the greatest. In this position, it's the striker position, right? And you want to in this anime, it's the striker position. And so that's kind of what this anime explored, which is like forget being nice, right? It's not about that. It's about being the best that you can be. And I guess you can't do that if you're always like letting your teammates have all the glory or whatever. And I don't know, it was apparently like a really big success, this anime in Japan. And so I guess they're like, I guess they did 2 seasons. I don't know. Like I thought I watched, I don't know what I watched, right? I'm not gonna say any spoilers, obviously. I was about to, but yeah, I don't know. Like it was like an hour. It's like a 67-minute long recap, and I don't know if it was like season 1 and 2. Not really sure, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good. It took that level of like doing things like to like a kind of a new level, I guess. Kind of interesting. Don't really see it playing out in like the real world, obviously, but okay, let's see. So it's still looking ashy, right? So I think I'm gonna let this side dry a little bit and then flip around and work on the other side. And I think we can start adding like hard textures now. I think it's to that point where enough of the fabric the paint has soaked into the fabric. Dude, these blue markers were such a mistake. And I think it's time to like start actually putting some decent lines, especially like here. I feel like it's lacking hard right here. Over here it's okay, but my favorite obviously is like right here where the textures are kind of tough and interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it on kind of heavy, I think, with the paint now. I think now the paint amount is going to increase, like little like dollops. So let's just try here like this. Okay. And anywhere that it looks like really like faint, I'm going to kind of blast it with extra paint. But I think now is the time to kind of start laying it on thick to build the extra textures on top. Maybe I don't know. That's what it kind of looks like, right? This is like my first time kind of trying this, and it's not really coming out like the way I envisioned it. But maybe I just need to keep adding texture on, and then just keep working on it. Maybe, I don't know. Like, what else can I really do at this point, right? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like when I make this, right, this is, if you didn't realize, this is part of like the black jersey, right, outfit. This is the pants of the black jersey. So hopefully when I give it to my friend, he'll be able to model it for me using like a black jersey top, which he might have because he's like really big into soccer. Like not me, but he is. Like look at how good this bottom side looks right here. And it's only looking good because there's like stuff underneath. Okay, maybe I could put stuff underneath like this. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, I'm put stuff underneath and just okay, that was a piece of pencil. I just did it there, so let me put it here. So I think I could create my own textures like this then, if that's the case, because it's a little bit boring right here. So then if the little bumps and stuff, oh my god, why did I do that? Oh no, I put way too much. I got a little bit too excited and I dabbed on too much paint. But I think if it's the textures, right, underneath that's making it to be interesting, then let's start putting stuff underneath and let's start seeing what it looks like when I put on my own textures. Okay, I got a little bit too overexcited right there. So let's try here like this. Let's try this. Okay, that kind of worked. The idea, the principle behind it kind of worked. Let's try it right here. It's a little bit flat looking. So I wonder what I could put underneath here that will just make it like pop then, right? Oh yeah, that's not good. I definitely messed that up. This is like my least favorite area right here. I can say for a fact. It's still giving off that ashy look, which I don't like. Now, I'm not really sure how to fix it, but I feel like the only way to kind of fix it is just by layering it on more. Maybe. Like, I feel like it just needs to keep layering it. I don't know. Is this one of those things where it's ugly right now and it'll like kind of come together at the end? I hope so. Okay. Let's work on a little bit more here. And surprisingly, I still have kind of a lot of paint left. Here and here. Interesting. Okay, I think maybe this is too wet here, so I need to focus somewhere else first before continuing on with that over there. I could already see some of my stitching kind of coming loose. I don't know why. Okay, oh that's interesting. If I hold it up too, then it applies the paint in kind of a new fashion, because I guess it's not even. This makes me think maybe I could hang this up. If I hang this up and then just do this, would it be okay? Interesting. That's an interesting thing. If I hang it up and then like while it's hanging, then I start painting it, that could be another way too. Because then I think the problem with this side was that it's so flat and there's really nothing. It's just not applying in a really like interesting way. It's just flat and boring. So if I hang it up, then maybe it would just create its own little shape. Okay, let me go back to the other side. I'm getting... What was that? Oh, my pencil. Okay, so let me go back to the other side. And then we can continue painting there. Let me test that theory right now, because this side is kind of dry enough, I think. So let's say like you're just holding it up like this, right? There's like, if you're holding it up and then you just kind of take a swipe here like that. And of course I would do this where it's actually like where I have it actually hanging on something, so I could use both hands. Something like this. Interesting. Okay. I feel like I'm totally freestyling it, but I guess now is the time to kind of play around with this, just to kind of learn or just see what it does. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna put my mic up. This. Is there a way I could hang this up somewhere? Or hang on. Oops. Okay. So we'll try here because it's a little bit flat looking, maybe. Yeah, probably this is kind of working. Wait, so then if that's the case, hang on. So I'm just pretty much dripping paint. Yeah, you can see. Try not to spill it all over my table. So maybe if I like can I shake it too like this? And would that work? Yeah, kind of. Oh. Oh. I don't know. Is that okay? So something like this. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna have to be the method. My arms are hurting because these are kind of heavy. But let's see. What does it look like so far? Yeah, it's kind of coming along. Wow. I kind of need to go back to the gym. I feel like I'm like neglecting like keeping in shape. Just by doing this, my arms are getting sore. Like I'm not even trolling. Maybe it's too much there. It's too much there. Too much there. Okay. Maybe right there it needs a little bit more. Oops. Something definitely fell into the ground. Looks okay. okay. It's getting better actually. Let me try this side. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Because my arms are hurting. Interesting. This is kind of interesting though. Putting it up and then just drawing it out. Okay, because there's natural folds and creases. I just kind of wish I didn't paint it in blue. I think that was a big mistake. So what else do I need to do? Hold on. Let me take a look at this. Ooh, it's so moist. So it needs to have more on this side as well. Let's see, hold on. Okay. Let's clean this up a little bit. My sweaty gloves. Okay, so I think the yeah, that was a good base. I could see like the first few coats was like the base, and then now with these streaks, oh excuse me, it's kind of looking like the sigil. I guess that's like really trending right now. It's like the cyber sigilism type designs, and it's kind of coming out a little bit like that. It kind of feels like it, especially like here. And so I think mixed now it just kind of needs bolder lines. So I think I'm on the right track with using more paint, like thicker paint. Okay, yeah, okay. So these are the front panels right here, and I guess I could wait for it to dry and then flip this over and do the same on the back. So the back needs to be the same design. And yeah, probably just wait 24 hours and then heat press everything here with my iron, like a parchment paper on top, and then press it to seal it. I think that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm kind of digging, it's kind of growing on me actually. Now that these little darker accents, but I think these dark accents, I need to be very careful with those, that I don't overdo it. So I need to keep doing a little bit of light, like swishes, and then I think especially like, let's say here or here. No, I think that's fine. Maybe here needs some more dark and thick accents. And over here definitely. And I think on the back panel we'll try some different ones, but I think these are gonna take a little bit long to dry actually. Like these are already kind of drying. It feels a little bit hard. This feels like the paint feels hard, so I'm not sure if I made the ratio wrong or what, but maybe after curing everything is when it's supposed to get nice. After you wash it, is when it gets nice and soft. But I don't know. It feels like, let's see, can you hear this? This is just denim. No, this is painted denim. I mean, it's not bad. It gives a texture which I like. I just wish it didn't give it like this, like, I mean, I guess, yeah, it is my first time doing this. But it gives off like a, like a amateur kind of vibe to it, which I wish it was like much better, but I guess I am an amateur, right? The first one, I'm having fun with it. But now I'm trying to think like, uh, I'm really liking a lot of the streetwear type of styles that are coming out these days. I mean, they've been out, but for me, like, I'm just kind of like paying attention to it a little bit more, especially because I decided to do this for my streams, like just making stuff, sewing, and so that's why I've been like paying attention to a lot of like the streetwear that's been coming out, and that's kind of where like these kind of inspirations came into play. Like these flares, it's all from the streetwear people style, and just like putting things together and making it very distressed, and I like it. So I'm just trying to see how would I kind of incorporate that look into this, right? Because I think the trend right now is like heavy distress, right? Rip seams, um, like bolo style. But I don't know. I don't know how I would improve this because it's already baggy. Number one, it's really baggy. Number two, it has this little paint job. Paint job. uh, so I don't want to like do too much. How would I make this like more, I guess, streetwear aesthetic esque? Because right now it's just baggy. That's what it looks like. It's just baggy jorts with paint on it. And so to transform this into something like that looks moderately streetwear-ish, what would it need? Of course, like rips. But I feel like it'll be like kind of distracting if it's like just too much going on. And I think that's a problem with a lot of the stuff that I see. It's just there's like too much going on, and it doesn't really let the things that are there, like there's no space for it to kind of be appreciated. But this, how would I improve it? How would I improve this? Like, I don't think you really want like too much distressing here. I mean, I guess you can, especially like, yeah, jorts or whatever. Painted, the blue. How would I streetwear if I these pants? You know, one thing I've been like really kind of, I never really used before. I never really used these things, but one thing that really has been catching my attention are like grommets. So I'm like, oh, putting grommets on this would be kind of interesting, maybe. But I don't have a little grommet thing. But even with grommets, okay, where would the grommets go? That doesn't make this look like ridiculous. Because right now the theme is like the main central point is these white lines, right? From the baggy jorts. But what accents these lines? I don't know. Like I want what can I do to make this like have that reaction? Oh, that bit. When people see it, they'll be like that bit. The belt loops, spike it. Would spiking it help at all? Like I have spikes I could put on here. Would that be cool? These white streaks. What else can I do? Yeah, this dressing. I wonder, okay, you know what? I just had an idea is I wonder if instead of painting this, right? Like I painted all this fabric, if I distressed it, like what if I got the white threads by distressing it? Would that work? Would that even work? I don't even know. That's an idea though. What if I bolo style this? Use cover all this with stitching, like white stitches all around, like you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all like boom, 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 boom. Like right now, use a paint to you know, just make this outline, and then kind of like the bolo style, where but then have it like all around. Would that be tuh? Right? Would that be tuh? Like you just stitch it like go just back and forth all around this, dude. Would that work actually? Now I'm trying to think. Just paint it and then have the stitches just go like white stitches go back and forth, back and forth. But I feel like if I do that, I should have maybe done that before. Like even here, like dude, that would be an interesting texture actually. I think I'm gonna try that. Probably on the weekend. Like stitches, like white stitches that go all around this. Oh, would that be good? I don't know. I'm trying to think actually. That's a lot. That's a lot of thread. Just all around, like dude, that would okay. Maybe. Now the question is, do I do it with white or black? Oh, this is actually really interesting. Because I think with just the paint itself, it's not enough, right? It's a little bit boring. It's a little bit flat. But in order to make it a little bit streetwear-ish, I think, yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. I think it'll be kind of interesting. But I'm wondering what it would look like with black thread. So let's say like, you know, I'm just crossing this like this with white thread. Would that look good? Oh, okay, now my creative juices, I feel like, are kind of coming through. Okay, so but I feel like, okay, this is the white, and so white on white. I think that'll be kind of interesting, like this. So if you kind of are lost in what I'm saying, is I'm gonna be sewing this with this thread, right, like white thread, and it's gonna have this kind of pattern all around, where it just zigzags all throughout. Okay, let's try that. I mean, I'm not gonna do it tonight, obviously, but I'm actually kind of excited, just because I think it's just gonna be so much. I don't know. It might look like absolute garbage, but I think it might be kind of interesting at least. And then I guess it'll give me some practice sewing back and forth. So yeah, so I guess we're gonna be doing that. We're just going back and forth with white thread all the way across like this, just like. Interesting. Okay, I didn't really consider that. What else can I do? If it's I guess the choices is I could use white thread, because this is all supposed to be white anyways. I could use black thread, right, which will kind of give it interesting texture to this, but I feel like white would be better, because this is white, and then you could see that white thread making zigzags all the way around, and then it'll just be like another layer of white. maybe that's what's missing on top of this. So yeah. Oh shoot. Oh, my pencil. Okay, yeah. I think that one, let's see. I need to so I guess I need to finish painting this, right? Obviously, I only did the first side. I'm not even done yet. I feel like I still need to add more texture, but yeah, I guess we're gonna keep continuing working on this front side, and then we'll do the back side, and then I'm really excited about it, and then we'll continue to process it more by stitching more stitches like all around. So we're going to be using a lot of stitches. Okay, let's get back to it. Break's over. And I think for the most part, I'm not going to be speaking because this microphone is kind of getting in the way. And I think I'm just going to be working on just creating stuff. Okay, so here. It's the right one. Okay, this is the wrong one. Goes back in the pile. Okay. Gloves are always such a pain to put on. Okay. Okay, big globs of paint, and then we'll hang it at an angle too, or whatever, and then just keep just adding layers still. This. Interesting. This. Okay. paint just globs on there. What if I crinkle the fabric a little bit like this? Would that work? Kind of. Interesting. I guess just trying to find an effect that I like. Yeah, like that, kind of, yeah. Okay. And then we'll do more here. My arm's kind of hurting. These jeans are actually heavy. Even though I cut off like half of it. Okay. Let's see what we have so far. Like this, okay. Which side did I just do? This side, this side. So probably go back to this other side and start adding more paint here. Maybe I could crinkle it up too. I feel like that kind of works. To a limited degree, I think. It looks like individuals, it doesn't look, I'm not really getting the long streaks by doing that. Right, it just looks like little splotches. Which I don't really know if I like that. So let's just add those there. That looks good. That was actually a really good one. Actually, let me change this to here. So then I think that's like a better view overall. Okay. This. My bobbin fell. D'habitude. Like here, okay. Something like that, I suppose. Did that get better? Let's see. Oh. Let's see. I feel like now that the color is coming on thicker here, it needs to get more thicker on here too, like on the edge. the sponge is kind of falling apart too. Interesting. Microplastics. Microplastics. Okay. Maybe right there. Something like that. I guess right there to finish off. And then now we could work on this line right here. And once again, I'm just dabbing the paint. Like, I'm just scooping it like little dots at a time, kind of thick onto the sponge. And just kind of putting it on there. Did that look good? That one felt good for some reason. Interesting, okay. Not really too much paint transfer. Something like that, yeah, okay. And then the corner I feel like needs a little bit of help too. And then going up diagonally, oh, I can't wait to start sewing this up. That, okay. Something like that, all right. Is that better? I don't know. And then, okay. Dude, bro, this looks like skeleton legs. Like a dancing skeleton legs, you know? That bit Okay. Now that I'm looking, probably right here needs a little bit more help. Right here. So something like this. Something like this. Right here needs a lot of help too. Yeah. Oh. Did that improve it? Yeah. I feel like the other side is kind of, this hemline is kind of weak, so I think we're gonna start streaking this side too, kind of a little bit. I'm trying very hard not to get paint on myself, because I like these pants that I'm wearing. I don't want to get my paint all over it. So how would I do this? So something like this. Like that, okay. That was good. I feel like I'm getting bolder with my strokes. Even though that sounds kind of weird. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I guess we're gonna do the other side a little bit. Right there. Yeah. a little bit more. Okay. Like that, perhaps. What's this side? Wait. Is that good? I feel like right here needs a little bit more help. It's a little bit weak. Right there. Did that do anything? Maybe. And then probably right here was this diagonal needs some help too. Just because of the fact that it's so light looking. Right here. So I wonder if that did anything. Did it? I don't know. I can't really tell. But I think right here, this is where I have to be very careful not to apply too much. I think like this is the time where you could kind of go overboard. So let's let it dry for a little bit before continuing on. It's taking shape though, I like it. Yeah, it's definitely much more, I mean, it still gives off that kind of ashy look. And I think I messed that up because, I think what I need to avoid is like smearing it in, and I think that's what I did in the beginning, right? I like kind of smeared it in too much, but I think going forward, what I'm going to do is put a lot, like 2 heavy drops, and just do streaks. And I think that will give like the clean, sharp lines. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like it's like I feel like it's absorbing into the fabric. That's why it's like kind of spreading out a little bit and kind of giving that like hazy effect, which I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think definitely when you do this, you want to make just one streak, a bold streak at a time. Trying to kind of smear it in is making it like, that's what I think I mess up. So I guess the good thing is I get to practice on the back, but I also think that this is like the paint is absorbing into the fabric, and that's what's causing it to turn like kind of grayish, I guess. That's what it looks like. That's what it reminds me of. But I like the front, and I think I don't really have to do too much right now. I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little bit before I start on the back side. And I think on the back, I think with everything that I learned on the front, I should be able to make it much cleaner in theory. But you know what? I'm actually getting really hungry right now. That's the problem. So let me see. Hang on real quick. I just need to put off the messages real quick too. But yeah, I think the interesting thing about this is it's like Oh, I hope the layer. Okay, so let me show you. So if you kind of, oh shoot, if you kind of look at the lines, it's kind of grayish, and so I'm wondering if it's the paint still being absorbed into the fabric, because I want like the bold white lines, but you can see a lot of gray splotches here. So maybe like later I have to go back once all this is dry and just go back with the brush and then just put in details. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure yet. But these little red lines, blue lines, the blue markers, yeah, that was a kind of a rookie mistake, I think. But I mean, I guess that's why it's the first time doing this, right? It's a first time thing. Still kind of waiting for this thing to just dry. Let me see. I'm really curious how the stitching is when I sew this on my sewing machine, how that's gonna actually affect this. Is it gonna improve it? Is it going to ruin it? I don't know. I'm really excited to find out though. I know I'm gonna put my sewing machine through its paces, I guess, when that time comes. I wonder how long it's actually gonna. Like, I have trouble doing it in reverse. I don't know why, but it's always like, kind of like when I go in reverse, it always seems to eat the fabric somehow. I don't know why, but it seems to like the fabric seems to always get like eaten into the machine, and that's always kind of annoying. So I guess this will be like really good practice. So I'm just waiting for the paint to dry so I could work on the back side. It kind of seems dry. I don't know. This is an interesting mixture. Like if you're just kind of tuning in a little bit late or you weren't paying attention in the beginning, this paint right here is like a DIY fabric paint, right? I used 2 parts just acrylic paint, 1 part fabric softener, and 1 part hodgepodge or Mod Podge, which is basically like a glue / sealer. And I don't know, I guess the texture of the paint is it's a lot more flexible than I originally imagined, because when I painted my cosplay of the Slurpee, right, the stuff for 7-Eleven day, that paint is really thick and crusty, and you can tell. And I think when you wash it, it definitely gets affected by it. So I think this concoction is supposed to kind of help this paint stay in place, if that makes sense. Stay. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I want this to be like one of those. Oh, that bitter, not that bit. And I don't know. Kind of right now, it's kind of 50-50, right? So we'll see. Right around the crotch line. Okay, go inside the middle. And then now I just did the front side, so of course I need to do the back side. And I'm just kind of trying to visualize it, what I'm going to be doing Also, while trying to just wait for this to dry a little bit. And I guess, yeah, let's drink some water. It's actually really, really, really hot. So anybody that's watched this series, you know, uh like when those soccer people, like, they reinvent themselves and they get inspired and they evolve, I guess, during the game, they get this like aura. It almost looks like smoke that surrounds them, right? Everybody, they all have their own colors and they have like this aura, and that's what this kind of reminds me of. Or it's like this kind of smoky, whimsical kind of feeling, albeit not as cool, but that's what it kind of looks like, I guess. But yeah, I guess this is like kind of just testing it out, testing out different styles, um, seeing what kind of effect you can get by holding it a certain way, right? I think that's very important. Um, and just kind of playing around with it. And I'm noticing like some places are, I don't know why the paint is like going great, and I think those are the places where I smeared it in, like pressed hard. Like, I think, okay, you know, I press it, I go swipe once, and then that's when the paint applies thick. But then I have a habit of wanting to smear it again, and then when I do that, then I think that's when it spreads out and then it starts soaking into the fabric and becoming a little bit grayish in tone, and not that sharp, bright white, which is kind of what I want. That's what I'm going for. But so I'm just trying to see what I can do. Like I said, this is pretty much the same design on the back. That's all I really need to do. I think on the back, I just need to do the bottom on the hem. I don't need to do the middle. I just need to connect it on the back. And then this right here, this, and then this on the back is pretty much what I need to do. And right here, I need to put the number. I think I'm going to put the number 13. I think that's the character. One of the main characters has that number 13 right here. And I don't know. I think that's going to be like one of the final touches, the finishing touches to this. But yeah, it's just kind of waiting for paint to dry right now, to be honest. I want to eat some potato chips and do some like mukbang ASMR kind of content right now while I wait. But yeah, I guess the paint is good enough for us to kind of start on the back. So let's do that on the back side. We'll continue that. I'll continue my technique of holding it up, because I think that gives the best interesting textures. And then once we do the back, and then hopefully this is enough paint to last, and then let's do it. Let's go here. The paint is dry enough where it's not really coming off. Interesting. Okay. Front and the back. Let me make some markings actually, just so that it serves as a guide. And then it's gonna go down here. And start curving in around here. gonna start curving in here towards the crotch area, I think. Or is that too small? Here, that's too close. So I think I need to push this back a little bit here. And here. Something like that. And then here, 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 here. Wait, oops. So much paint on my fingertips. Continue that right there, all the way down, like that. From there, connect right there, okay? Just drawing out the lines. Bottom, like right here. This, okay. Like that. Okay. I think that's it. I think I got the line up. Like this. And then just copy that onto the other side. Bring that down all the way to here, like this. And then start cutting in right here. Nope, I'm wrong. So it's gonna be right there. Okay. Alright, like that, and then this, and that's it. Oh, it's so hot. Let's see what this looks like. See the outline? W. Let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna mix the paint real quick before I start. Oh my god, it's so hot. It's about half left. The paint is about half left. And then we'll do this technique, and hopefully this time I could get much cleaner lines all around. Let's try it. It should be better. Here. Okay, so like this. Now I'm gonna start maybe use the other side to see what kind of texture that gives when I'm using like globs of paint. Has noticeably deeper streaks. Where is it leading to though? But it still grays out though. Interesting. Dude, there's so much paint embedded in here. I think it just soaks up a lot of the paint that goes kind of unused. Dude, that looks like a face. That looks pretty sick. That looks like a horror face. Okay, let's continue. My arm is getting kind of sore, surprisingly. Okay. That right there. More dabs. Okay. Right here, I guess. Yeah, over here it's still getting a lot grayer, I can tell. Places where there's not like massive globs of paint is getting grayed. Like right there, so let's just start here. Right on the ham. Okay, keep going. I think the trick is to just glob it on thick at the beginning, because if you like try to be conservative with it, it just kind of soaks in the fabric. and becomes like kind of gray mush. Okay, that's the outside of the leg. This is the inside. It makes this little Y shape, and of course right here it's going to be all connected. Why is that so wet? Okay. I guess let's do more here on the hemline. Like this. And then I feel like my sponge is like literally disintegrating as I'm doing this. Okay. This, and then more. Okay. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. This, it needs a little bit right there. Now let's let the bottom dry, and then we can go more like right here. Dude, this is like a really rough shape too. Rough outline. Okay. Let's say goodbye to that face that we created somehow. Kind of creepy. I don't know if this is better than before on the front side, to be honest. I'm really not sure. Okay. I think the goal tonight is to use up all this paint that I have, and I'm gonna call it a night after I use all the paint. This side, I think I'm gonna let it dry and I'm gonna work on the other side. Yeah. Looking good to me. Okay. This, I definitely thought it wouldn't be enough paint, but this is kind of surprising that this is lasting this long as it is. Okay, so let's do a little bit more up here. This. Wait, okay, so here, this. All the way down here. That, okay. Something like this, and like this. Dude, my arms are so sore. These jeans are actually, dude, I feel like I'm complaining so much, but these are actually really heavy. And my back hurts. Okay. Interesting. It's still turning gray more than I would like. I'm wondering if I should maybe, okay, I kind of upgraded to just dabbing it into the cup. Oh shoot, I think I messed up right there. I got lucky. Okay, I think maybe dabbing, maybe pouring it like 2 drops at a time is like not the move, maybe because my arms are getting tired. And it's kind of taking shape. So I think I'm gonna dab it in the cup now, in the paint cup, to pick up more paint. And I think I can make this go much faster because my arms are about to fall off. Something like this, okay? Yes. Oh my god, I feel like I'm just getting overexcited right now. Dabbing up too much paint. And going a little bit buck wild with it too much. Kind of almost done though, I feel like. Oh my god, my arms are so sore. I mean, mean, does this kind of look like the Blue Lock uniform, the pants? That's what it's supposed to be. I hope so. Wait, which side was I working on? This side? Yes. Like right there, okay. I'm spilling paint all over my desk. Oh, that's a glob. Maybe right here, there, okay. Is this a look? Maybe, I didn't really try anything like this, so I think maybe I should try it like this right now, where I just glob paint on and lay it on thick. Instead of trying to be delicate with it. Yeah, that looks good. It's definitely much thicker. Okay. And let me try putting some on right here. And then we'll go on to the other side after. Hold on, so here. This out. Like something like this. Yes. Then we'll move on to the other side. Nice. And then we'll try this Brillo pad again, once again. I'm not really getting anything too amazing from this. But let's see if globbing it on is the key. Which it kind of looks like, maybe, but probably not. I wonder why. Why doesn't it look good? The sponge side looks much better. The sponge side looks way better. Okay, wait, so I need to maybe work more on these things. Maybe even this, would this work? On the side of the pad? Is that a thing? Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, I'm just putting it in here, like dabbing it in. It's giving more interesting textures, that's for sure. Interesting, okay. So that kind of works well. And I guess I should let this dry for a little bit. Maybe add a little bit more here and then let it dry. And then see where I could kind of improve upon. Right here. Interesting. This side technique kind of works really well, actually. I think right here needs a little bit extra too. I think right there. Yeah, there's actually a lot of ink in here too. If you just jab it in, Like it just comes out like a lot. Okay. So there's that. So what am I missing on this side? Okay, let's go back to this side. Where I feel like maybe right here is a little bit weak. Right here. Okay, good. Then could sharpen up these lines right there. So 2 strokes maximum. That. This is, I think, where it meets inside the Y. Maybe. Here is kind of weak too. So I'm going to strengthen this up by doing that. I wonder how you can get like more of a splatter effect. I think right here, connection is kind of weak too. Okay. And then I think we need to let this dry a little bit. And then maybe work on the hem, because I'm running out of ink pretty much right now. I'm on my last few drops. Here's the back side. A lot more messier than the front side for sure. But I think it's because I was like really heavy with the ink, and then so like when this folds, it like prints on the other side like this, which is not what I wanted, but it gives it kind of character, I guess. Of course, the front is a similar thing. Okay. This, and then I think we should be done soon. Okay. Damn, a lot of the paint got kind of messy actually. Interesting. Let's see. This. Yeah, it looks good. Just needs to dry a little bit. Okay, hold on. So let me clean this up. Right here, there's so much ink. There's so much paint all over the table. I don't know why. And I don't want this to transfer on. And I think on the back side, I was really heavy with the ink. And when the fabric like folded over, I think that's when it like transferred onto the other side and made it a little bit messier. It's a lot more, yeah, it's a lot more messier than the front for sure. I think I took a lot more time and was a lot more careful. Let me show you. Okay, well, you can see, let me brighten this up real quick. You can see definitely that there's like a lot of splatter that transferred over on the back side, like especially like right here, you can't really see. But definitely this is kind of the design that I was going for. And right here, there's a lot of paint transfer. I think what happened was when I was like holding it up, because it's so heavy and my arm was like drooping, this part kind of folded over this way, and then paint just kind of transferred right here from this side. But overall, the look, I think I did it much faster on the back than I did it on the front. And it looks much more thick coated, and you can see definitely the splotches and the splatters. So a little bit about this paint. Let's go review this, I guess. Yeah, definitely it kind of, I feel like I didn't even use that much, but it definitely kind of held up on its own. So let me just kind of use the rest of it, whatever's in here. Very cool, right? This was like I said, it was like a mixture of paint, fabric softener, and Mod Podge. So it's like a little, I don't know, a little DIY concoction. And I guess I'm gonna have to wait till like tomorrow to find out just how well it dries and how well it actually like functions, how well it actually performs. And I guess I won't really know until I, wash this, which I don't really have any plans of washing this anytime soon. So yeah, okay, so what's my next step, right? What's my next plans for this? So now that I have the basic paints all painted and ready to go, I'm gonna wait probably 24 hours for this to dry, and I'm going to heat treat it and seal it. I think all you have to do is put parchment paper on top, and then use your iron, and then just put everything, and then it will seal it in place, right? I'll do that tomorrow. And then I think now what's left on stream is I'm going to do zigzag stitches, or just straight stitches, but all across this in a tight pattern. So probably in white thread. And I think that will be like the finishing touch for this. That will make this really like kind of street wear kind of thing. So I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty sick. So I need to probably load a lot of bobbins with white thread, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is gonna take a lot of bobbins. And yeah, I'm actually really kind of curious how this is gonna turn out. I had a lot of fun. Surprisingly, this was a lot more intricate, and you had to think about stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll put another layer of paint depending on how this dries. If it's not really to my satisfactory, if it's not really satisfactory, then I'll put another layer of paint, and then I'll do all that. But I think for tonight, that's it. I finished all the paint. It was really fun, and I can't wait for this to finish, and I can't wait to give it to my friend. And I'm curious like how this is gonna fit and how it's actually gonna look. Peace. Wow, almost 3 hours during this night. Nice. Have a good night.